Hello, good people. Hello, hello. Welcome. It's a live stream time. Yay. Okay, let's get the cameras going. Ah! I look pink. Oh man, hold on a second. Color balance. My color balance is off. I was trying to fix my color balance and I got to the wrong setting. So let's try that. That should be better. All right, get back there. There we go. Hi, welcome. Hey, good to see you all. Welcome. Lots has happened in the last week. Oh, I'm distorting my voice. I can tell. So let's go over here. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Turn this down a little there. And turn it up a little bit here. Okay, welcome. How are you doing? So we have some good stuff planned. I see we have one of our special guests. I mean, you are all special, but having Herbie Hancock here. Hello, Herbie. Hands together, my friend. Hands together to all of you. Welcome. We have a new library in the works that's about to be born. And it's a massive library. It's coming out really cool. No added pressure. Don't play the wrong note. I'll let you know something. If you go to well, you can't see it, but behind the scenes, if I go to the page showing all of you wonderful people and the customers and the amazing amounts of investment you guys have put into sound, it's beautiful. I thank you all. Herbie Hancock is #1. He's at the top of the list. He got Unify like just right after it was released. I didn't even know that he knew about it. But thank you, Herbie. It's an honor, man. So Behemoth has been a really fun project. I kind of needed something to signify moving because, as you can see, I'm in a new place. I have some sound panels on the wall. Herbie, thank you, man. Really. But check this out. So let's see. I got to get the camera so I can see what's going on. I've got sound little panels that you can find them on Amazon. I don't know how effective they are, but they look good. On the sides of the walls here, I'm going to put some actual more serious acoustic treatments up to kill some more of the reflections. It's a lot better. I'm in Eagle, Idaho, by the way. I moved from Portland in the middle of May and got here in time to take my mom and dad to San Francisco to see my daughter graduate from University of San Francisco and then get everything set up. And I was here for my birthday, which was really fun. That was last week. And I have things to show you. Let's see. We'll start with this. This is one of my birthday presents, was a beautiful mahogany 12-string. And I can't play it very well. But it sounds beautiful. And there will be a library coming, of course, featuring this beautiful instrument. Look at that. And it's really nice. I also am working on Cloud City Volume 2, which will also come out later this year. And for that, I have this really interesting thing. This is called a hang drum. And you can... I bought this maybe 3 months ago. I've been practicing on it. There's techniques involved. And then also I'll tell you the story. I went to Guitar Center here because I saw an ad on Facebook Marketplace for a Fender Rhodes suitcase with speaker for $2,100, which is just a crazy price to find. And I was like, if that's the case, happy birthday to me. I'm going to buy it. It wasn't there. That's why I went to the guitar room and I started playing guitars, and I fell in love with this mahogany 12-string. But I also went in the percussion room and I bought myself some really cool... It's not going to sound good. So this will be in Cloud City Volume 2. It does this really cool, because it's metal, it has... You get all these really cool pingy sounds out of it. I also bought a really, really fun drum. This is a talking drum, which you can play, and you actually put it under your arm. And it plays double sides. So this will be sampled for Cloud City Volume 2. Both grooves as well as a map with a ton of samples. And then I also found this. This is a really cool type of a cajon. I'm going to get one more. I need to get the turbo version, which has a deeper tone. But this is one of... I'm going to hold it up so you can see it from this angle. But it has a big port right here. And one side of it you play is more woody. The other side has snares. So there's another one. I mean, I'm blowing up my microphone. I can hear it, so not to really show off. But anyway, I got that. A really cool Dumbeck, which is tunable, so I can... So between all these instruments, if I had them all set up at the store so that I could play between them to make sure that the relationship was... It's not going to sound good here, but I made sure that they sounded cool as an ensemble. And then I'm going to get... I need to get a couple bigger drums. A friend of mine in California... a dearly beloved friend of mine, Daniel Indart, he has Latin music specialists, does a massive amount of the licensing of Latin music you hear on TV, commercials, films. I worked with him probably over 150 commercials for Modelo, McDonald's. We did a Marlboro commercial, and that was like in the early days with, sound design, and we did everything for them. And he has a ton of instruments, and his birthday is Halloween. And so we used to get together on Halloween, and he's like the whole Brazilian ensemble with the big panderos and the big drums and the caciques and all the different percussion instruments. And we would jam with them, and he just had to sell a whole bunch of them. And I wanted to buy them, but it's kind of hard to mail them up here from Idaho from California to here, so I'm just going to find instruments like that. But I want to get some bigger drums as well for the ensemble that will be put together for Cloud City 2. When does Mouseburger have an out of business and bought a bunch of stuff? Sam Ash. Yes, Sam Ash is got some pretty good sales going on if you need something like that. Yeah, the guitar is great. It sounds beautiful. So that stuff is in the works, along with Unify 2. I think Shane is here. I'm not sure. Could we see your hands? Oh, they're not playing. Oh, sorry. Let me go over here. I got multiple applications running. This should be showing show MIDI. Why are you not showing? Hold on a second. No plugins. You guys like to see what I play. I don't mind to share what I play. But it's not... Oh, you know what it is? I know why. I've done this before. Got to go like this, and then mute. There. Have to have a... In Logic, like I can't figure out quite how to get... I'm using Ableton right now for my voice, because Logic isn't letting the audio pass through for me for some strange reason. And I just didn't feel like trying to troubleshoot it. But in Logic, if you want to have a MIDI effect work, you have to have an instrument effect in that channel as well. And now it should be working. Let's see, let's shrink that. Oh, you know what? I guess I gotta have the polyphonic synths. Let's go like this. Like this, like that. Okay, why are you not working right? This is just so funny. MIDI effects. Go show MIDI and get, let's say, Unify up and running. But we'll have it muted so there's no sound. And let's see, this is just, okay, I don't know why, but all of a sudden it's not showing MIDI. Oh, here it is over here on this one. This one's showing it right, that one's not. So I love software. Man, the things I've learned about software, it's a Wild West rodeo. And the fact Shane has Unify working and purring along so nicely with everybody's plugins is just an absolute miracle. When you see how these plugins work in different applications, and there. All right. So Behemoth, you know, I just turned 60. I'm an old fart, but I still have attitude. And I wanted to make like we've done a number of ambient libraries and chill and lo-fi and all the, nice kind of sounds. And I was like, okay, I still have a little something to say on more than just tame and chill and stuff. So Behemoth are the biggest sounds I can make. In single stereo samples. This is just a single stereo map. So we have all sorts of cool basses. And so there's all sorts of different basses. This comes out on Thursday, the plan. So these are really cool basses. And then the pads, I did some fun things. This is one that we made 2 weeks ago, if you remember, in our live stream all together. And we created layers together to make this sound. Right? Well, a couple things. As you can see, there's a loop version of everything because I found for a lot of these sounds, my keyboard's being picked up a little bit. So. The loop versions are cool. But different. So it makes the library just that much more valuable. By the way, let me show you these too. I've been making Behemoth images that will be in the library. So here are some of those. Oh, come on, go full screen, please. Isn't that cool? Some other ones. Let's go like this, because, it's attitude all around. So. Like, let me play a sound and then we'll go and call up a picture to match it. But check this out. So here's the loop, the full version of Scar Ripper. And then the loop version. It's a cool pad. Right? So these... it makes the library a lot more useful, I found. So I'm including both. So this would be maybe more like this type of a Behemoth. But check out the loop-only version, which sounds different. Because everything has settled. So all the sounds that are like coming alive and being part of it, that is, it's resolved all of that. So now it's just really cool. Right? And then there's the layers. So layer 1, when we made this, was a wave station patch. With the wave sequencing, all that kind of stuff. The loop-only version it's really cool to put this like under a piano or something because it has a 5th. Really cool out there kind of stuff. The other layers, the high frequency, that was from Zebra 2 when we made it. The other. Isn't that cool? So some of these, it's cool to have the elements, and there's just 3 for that one. Hero is another one. Let's see what would match this. Maybe this. It's got this nice opening in there. Yeah, get my Herbie chords out. Anyway, there's 4 layers for this one, I believe, right? So here's layer 1. Very slow, evolving organ-esque from Zebra 2 I sampled. And of course, that means that the loop version is going to be nice and fast. So it's like for pipe organs, you put that with pipe organ samples and really bring it alive. Layer 2. Another Zebra 2 patch. Because sometimes when you're making Behemoth, it's the end result that's Behemoth. But inside of it are a whole bunch of different elements. This was fun. This is a fluty type of patch that I'm playing an arpeggiated part and sequencing. And then a CS80, was it Arturia CS80? With polyphonic glide. And then back down. Which means the loop only version is after that pitch stuff, so you just have. It's another one of those really cool complex where you just play a simple chord, like you're getting a 13 because it's going up and adding extensions. And then the Behemoth came from layer 4. You know? If you took and you go to instrument 1 and you add 3, 2, and 1 together, you get that big thing. And it sounds different when it's in the layer format like this of the 4 layers versus just the stereo sample. So you have all these different ways to play with the samples. Orchestral epic. So here you have 3 different layers. Kind of a brassy kind of element. this kind of reminded me, I used to go to pizza restaurants when I was a kid. My mom is an organist. We owned a music store. In Portland, there was an incredible place that had a massive pipe organ. It was a pizza restaurant. I think it's called Pizza and Pipes or something like that. And you would go and you could eat pizza, and I believe they would have different people come in and do concerts. And I got to play that organ once. It was really, really cool. And you could set up these settings that would kind of have this kind of, all the diapasons with the oboes and the flutes, as well as other presets. There's actually a roller skating rink in Portland at Oaks Bottom. They still have a pipe organ. Not a pipe organ, but it's a multi-level organ with they got a whole, you're skating around this arena, and there's the box with the drums and the tambourine that would shake and all those things that the guy could set. So when he played pedals, it would play the drums and all these kind of cool things. So I love big concert organs and stuff like that. In fact, my daughter graduated from University of San Francisco, and they have this amazing cathedral that they have the ceremony. And there's an incredible pipe organ in there. And so since she's now alumni, I'm going to see who I can talk to and butter up to go in and sample that at some point. That would be pretty cool to sample. But anyway, this has kind of that kind of organ-esque, stringy, you don't know what it is, but it's cool. And then layer 3. Kind of a cool sound, loop only version. Kind of the choir, I want a choral kind of a vibe. And if you go to the macro knobs, you can change the attack. It's kind of that synthy vibe, and you put those all together and you get orchestral epic. And there's cool motion in it and all that kind of stuff. Swarmus is another one that's just got this, all sorts of cool stuff going on. This also has 4 layers. Layer 4. Cool ring mod effect. Layer 3 is this really cool patch. I think this was from, this is a G4 synth. I think this was from Oddity 3 that they brought out. It does some really cool. Isn't that cool? And then the loop only, here where it's looped. So the loop only is really tame, but it doesn't have all that motion. Bazooka are these big. Uh-oh, did I break bazooka? Let me see here. Oh, this is one I didn't fix. So let's go over here. You guys, see, this is why I do these in the live stream sometimes before they're supposed to come out, so I can just massive waves. In fact, I use this as in a bonus pad. Where is it at? Yes, I think it's one of the BPM patches. I think it's Polished Pounder. No, that's Scar Ripper. Well, we'll get to the bonus patches in a minute. I got some more to show you. So anyway, there's a distorted triangle. So I didn't want it to be just a pure triangle because it's very easy to take the filter and get it to be more of a pure triangle-esque. But I wanted to have some stuff to it so it's not clean. It's, you know, clean triangles are a little tricky to use. Then the biggest sawtooths I could create, which we actually got bigger than that last week. I'll show you in a second. We got strangles. That kind of stuff. Beefy brass. No samples. It's not sample based. And I also did this wet for cinematic. That kind of thing. Mass spike brass, some synth. All about the attack on that one. Max Moog brass. Kind of like an OB12 on steroids. And then Mount Rushmore we made last week. We layered up all sorts of stuff. I think it's 200 oscillators. So it's just massive. That would be more in maybe that or that. There we go. D minor. You know, that kind of vibe. Anyway, so these images, I'll embed them in. So you click the little box here on the patches and artwork will pop up that's going to be like, oh, yeah, that's Behemoth. But there's a cool trick. So I wanted this. I saw a video from someone on YouTube did. So one element of Rushmore is just a monophonic, just a single oscillator. Right? Layer 2. We added some overdrive and distortion, I think, to that one. This was using a really cool patch from the Legend HZ that came out. They had an envelope for the D tune. So as you play, it starts in tune. And then it goes out of tune. So it's... right? Which makes the loop-only version really interesting because it's so out of tune, but it's out of tune in a nice way. And then layer 4. So the reason I designed it that way is because down here, Rushmore mod wheel goes from a single os. Bring up the mod wheel. So you can go between so you can go between all these different things. So all sorts of fun stuff in the library. I think Rushmore's where we stopped. And then in the bonuses, I brought in a guest programmer. I'll tell you more about him. If you know Signs of Life, I'll tell this whole story next week. I'm not going to say all the details yet, but he made some cool pads. And I gave him kind of the idea of combining things in the library that are in Unify in the samples or in the synths. So you have all these unbelievable ambient pads. He's hardcore into the ambient world. So if you know Signs of Life, we have his impressions of Behemoth, and they're cool. cool? Some other ones that he did. So we are going to go other places besides Behemoth, because one reason I want to make it, it's all about frequency content. When you're dealing with most subtractive synthesis is where you start with a sound and then you have filters and things to remove from that sound, essentially, right? So if you have yourself really massive content of frequency, you can play with that in some really, really cool ways. So that's what we did here. A lot of these are, the frequencies are there, but they're being shaped now in really cool ways. Isn't that cool? So there's some really cool Signs of Life pads. I did a couple pads. Here's one where it's just taking something really bright and just using a slow filter to evolve. So it's not Behemoth, but it is, you know? So cool ways of using all this content, right? And then this is when I showed you guys that you got to keep it because I combined a whole bunch of different things. So there's a couple BPM splits. Balloon Living was one that we did. And now this is the converted finalized version for a got this cool vibe. There's another one I'm working on. This is kind of fun. This is using a concept. Let's see if I solo these guys. I think they're the ones doing it. It's got, I'm using the LFO to do a two-step, right? So I might make that as a separate patch because it's kind of cool to be able to have this just a little, and then have it grow more and stuff like that. Well, here's this on steroids. Now you hear there's a minor chord in there. I'm actually going to probably bring that up a little bit louder. You know, so it builds up a little bit more, but that's the idea behind that one. There's some other fun BPM patches in here. Pulsar's kind of fun. This is one that Signs of Life did. And then here's Wheels of Progress. Which is fun. Balloon Life is cool. And then I opened the show playing Galactic Conversations, which is kind of fun. This is one where there's one element that has 3 pump houses essentially. One of them inside it, you know, pump house is kind of this modulation effect LFO that we have. So if I turn off the pump houses, there's an LFO, there's a square-shaped LFO doing octaves. If you haven't done this, it's really cool. You can set this to, if you say 12, it's a perfect octave. If you say 24, it's 2 octaves. Right? If you say 36, it's 3 octaves. And we can actually go to up all the way to 48. You have to play really low, but you can do it if you want. But 12 gives us this effect. And I had this, I think, on an interesting timing value. And then, here, let's call it back up because I messed it up. But it's a triplet over a 8th note pattern and 16ths. So it becomes this dancing frequency. And then that ring modulation effect from Swarmus, it's in there as a layer. And then you have on and off, so you can turn off these different parts. Just want to be the pad. And if you want, you can turn these off and turn the other on. It doesn't cancel notes because of the way Unify works. So you have just the dancing elements without the pad. Bring in just the pad. And then bring the pulse back in because there's a pulse. So all these options are available. That's just one oscillator doing a really cool pulse. Fun stuff. For basses, I had some fun making a... This works as a bass. I'm gonna make a couple more big ones. In fact, we might make one today because we're gonna make some patches in a few minutes here together. Phase popper. That's actually from the bass, from the brass. But I have it past the sample start. And then here's a cool 8 layers. So from single, I'll probably do a modulation wheel version where it goes from this to that. That'd be really fun to have as a mod wheel thing. Unimonster Saw. This is kind of like that, but it's with the filtering. It's not by notes. It's still playing all. See, all the oscillators are still firing. Then I did Unimonster for square. And the triangle. So stuff like that is cool. And then there's a couple of BPM basses. We're gonna make one of these together. Just a pulsing thing, because it's so useful. So we have an 8th note one, and then we have a possessed pounder. Hey, Athena. Athena, are you here? You here, Athena? I think I heard my dog. I was going to have her come say hi. Uh-oh. I lost... Oh, I never turned on the other... There. I had another camera to turn on. There we go. All right, so that's the library where it currently stands. There's a lot going on here. Oh, you guys are talking Unify too. Okay. Well, yeah, so these are going for, I'm going for the rich kind of sounds. So they're the stars of the, a lot of times you can have one of these as the star of the show, and then you have drums and you have other things accessorizing it. But Behemoth is all about big. But again, I'm also giving you elements in a lot of these cases. So when you go to something like Swarmus, which has got the whole... So it is big, but you also have the elements, which is a really cool thing to sing over the top of and have a song built on. Or and all of these have the filters set up, so you can make really rich dark pads from this. Patchtastic. Cool, I like that. That's a cool name. Okay, so we need to make some patches. I want to show you really quick 2 really cool free plugins that I found that are of a unique one of them is more typical. EQ isn't necessarily new, but this is the company Soundly. They're Norwegian based. They have an application if you need to do sound effects, Foley, like make a battle scene and like put all the sound effects in. They have the complete database of sound effects. Like I mean, it's really impressive what they have to work with. But they gave us a couple freebies for everybody to work with. And so if you go over here and you click on the sound, it's getsoundly.com. Here, I'll type into the www.getsoundly.com. Yes, Behemoth will only be for Unify. So it's not, I can't make that in Omnisphere, for example, because I need far more than even 8 samples. All of those maps that I'm playing are at least 15 to 17 samples to make them play properly across the whole keyboard. You can't do that with a single sample. It does not exist. I have 40 libraries of Omnisphere, 2 libraries that you're welcome to peruse, and they go everywhere, and Mega Magic pads, and violins, and cello, and all of those have wonderful synth sounds, but the synth sounds are based on a single sample across the keyboard unless you're in multi-mode, and then it's using multiple patches, and then if you want to change it from a slow attack to a fast attack, it's really difficult because you have to edit every layer of Omnisphere. It's just not practical. I've done that. And we are past that. So, yeah, this will be about 3 gigabytes. So, I think the current, well, yeah, it's about 2.7 gigabytes, I think, once we have everything in place. I did a test. But anyway, if you go to getsoundly.com and you hit tools, they have 2 tools. One called Shape It, which is a really, really nice EQ. I'll show you that in a second. The other one that's even more interesting is Place It. It's a convolution effect with space and speaker simulators built into it. And it does some really cool things, and they're free. So you just click the link and boom, you're set to download it, right? So it's that easy to get these installed. You don't have to register anywhere. They don't bother you with anything like that. Let's do this. Let's go to recycle, to a drum groove. Okay. Let's use place it first, because this is the more interesting of the two. Place it. So they have different presets. In somebody's hallway, headphones outdoors. It's like you put that in the background in a dialogue, like, "Hey Bill, what are you listening to?" "Oh man, I'm listening to this new track from Daft Punk." You know, I mean, that type of thing. And what's fun of this, you have parameters for changing how much of the different spaces, and they have all sorts of different spaces to choose from. Stairway, and it sounds great. The placement. We go over here, let's go to like laptop. Without it. So it kills all the frequencies. So it's really cool for placing things in the mix. And then what's really fun is if you use this inside of Unify, you can go to the macro knobs, and let's go to page 4. And you'll find that if you go click the plus button, go to master, to effects, to soundly place it, they have a whole lot of parameters beyond what you see in the interface that you can parameterize and change, whether the space is active, the space is mixed, the wall, which is a parameter here that's really cool, speaker amount, whether the speaker is active, and program is really, really cool. You can actually So you can change the effects in real time with Unify and sequence that into your sequencer. And it tells you the name of the preset. PA is the PA system at a bus, you know? Including walkie-talkies. And you can actually add other effects. If you wanted to turn on the ear and move the mix and turn on the ear again and move the space, we can now go over here and say speaker amount and that. So now it goes from dry so you can have all sorts of fun with it. So very, very powerful. Very cool, for free to get something that does that accurate of sound placement in different environments and then lets you tweak the daylights out of it if you want. And then Soundly, their other effect is called Shape It. And it's just FabFilter. If you have FabFilter, it's not bringing a whole lot to the table that FabFilter can't do, plus a whole lot more because it can get dynamic and stuff. But they have some really interesting presets to play with, including like different 7-band defaults. So you can quickly clean up a mix. Let's see, if you turn on the low pass, turn it on, now it's active. So now you can place it. The low pass, the high pass is off by default on that preset, which is useful. But they have these really, really cool design ones as well, like chords. So you could say like C major 7. So they did chordal kind of things. That's how cool the reverb is. D minor, D major 9. Here's an F major 13. So it does some really cool things. They also have speaker simulators. All set up for use because they're a sound design company. So they thought about ways of you setting this up. Like if you're underwater, this is the frequency content you'd want to have, filtering out everything else. Right? So really nice free effects to add. So if you want some effects, the Soundly, and then if you need sound design and stuff, like special effects, you want to do some things, you're doing a video game and they need you to do the sound effects and stuff like that. Soundly tools, they've got some good stuff, good subscription. I think it's subscription based. Most of them are this way for the pricing. $9.99 for 20, it's $15 a month. So you can set up or you can do a yearly thing and it's basically $12.49 a month. They give you storage and all the sounds and all that kind of stuff. So if you do need something for a short project or for a long project, you need sound design, effects, machines, explosions, the ambiances of being outdoors. You know, a lot of times it's cool to have songs where you start with like the birds chirping and water, and then you go from there into a song, you know. That's one way to get really cool sounds like that. So just, I'm going to give them a nice plug because they are providing those plugins for free. So it's really, really cool. Yeah, they're nice plugins. Really, really cool. All right, so we want to make, I picked Osmos Touche today and looking forward to using it with Unify. Yes, that I don't have a Touche, but I love the concept of it. And I've been eyeing one of these days getting one of Arturia's big synthesizers that has it built in. I think it is a really cool modulation source. Although the next thing I think I want to get is probably a keyboard that's polyphonic aftertouch and stuff like that. So let's get back to Behemoth. Oh, one other thing to point out really quick. There are 7 libraries from Alan Pauly. Let's see, let's go pluginguru.com, little website here. He has given us permission to do a bundle with all 7 of his libraries for Omnisphere. They all are included with Unify format files. Oh wait, not that stuff, but go back one and go back to here. But there's 7 different libraries that have tons of patches. It's 4 gigabytes of libraries in total. Really, really cool libraries, and I have them all for $39 until the end of the month. That was our deal, and so I think it's $99 or something like that for the price for all. Like it's over $200 if full retail. Really cool stuff, and as you can see, all of them are in Unify format and are included, so that you can just call this up. Really cool textures and cool, just stuff that will take you on some crazy tangents into music that you probably don't plan on, because a lot of these sounds are not describable. They're like just like, I could hear a sitar and I could hear a singing, you know, I mean, you hear something and then you start working from it type of thing. But there's usable patches. The story of Alan is interesting. He started by reaching out to me and saying, hey, I have these Omnisphere patches, I'm going to give them away. And I was like, no, don't give them away. So we did the Kid Anthem libraries, which have all of these patches. They have been off the website for 5 years. And so we've brought them back with Alan coming back to having us selling his libraries. I don't have them for sale as individual libraries right now. We're still trying to decide if we're going to do that or not. It might just be in the bundle. Because for $39, you get both this, Kid Anthem Volume 2, which came out really cool. Wow, I don't have the full version right here, but as well as all the other libraries. To have all of this available is really cool. And then we set up lots of macro knobs so you can bring in distortion and all sorts of things. To play with the sounds and do all sorts of fun things. So just to give you a little public service, if you need patches, there's also a sale at my site for this weekend. Let me tell you what that is because I don't want to quote wrong. I'm always having to come up with new, let's see, Gmail. Let's see. There we go right here. Where is it? Where did I put it? It's right here. All right, so the live stream I have, it's basically I'm giving you all $20. It doesn't work for Alan Pauly's library or for Unify, but any of the libraries, if you put in promo code save me $20 woot. Let me type that into the chat because it's kind of a tricky one, isn't it? Let's see here. Over here you go. Save me. So promo code save me $20. Toot. That will save you $20 off anything you want to buy this weekend until Sunday night. Okay? So that is active and happening right now if you wish to add a library. Let's see. What kind of patch would you guys like to see made in Behemoth? Let's get some description now. I'm going to definitely make 1 BPM bass, doing something kind of bassy and going all over the place and doing something cool. But give me some ideas to look at for when we get ready for the second one, okay? Let's go to Behemoth. Let's go to something really huge, and we're going to just use filtering and all sorts of stuff to chop it up. Like maybe we'll use... Let's use this. And I'm going to embed this into a Unify layer because I know I'm going to be using a CC writer. So go over here, Utility, CC writer. Now, it's not doing anything yet, but I'm going to change the preset to be a sawtooth down, and I want it to be like at a half note preset. Right? Ambient evolving. Okay, that would be fun. We'll do that. In fact, I've been wanting to do, I have a technique for making like non-rhythmic wave sequences. So maybe we'll play with that. So, first of all, we want to filter this because let's bring down the velocity here. Let's go. There. So, and then let's get a sequencer going on top of this. Let's say we want blue ARP, just to make it easy. And let's put this before CC writer. And let's say we're at 16th notes. So when I play a note, right? Let's go to velocity. And I'm going to take every third one. And then the third one. So just by velocity, I have that happening. So I want this to be really bassy like that. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say I want the full range of the filter cutoff. So go filter cutoff. And then we need this to dance. So we're going to go over here. We have CC Writer running, right? And CC Writer, we've told it its default broadcasting channel is CC number 20. So if I take this knob in this Unify layer, it's got to be inside of a Unify layer for this to work. Go to CC20. Now, it's not working right. And there's a couple ways we could change it. Let's do this. Let's invert it here. Let's go to halftime. Not of the art, but of the CC. So slower. That's more what I was thinking about, something like that. Let's put a delay on it. Just to make a delay to start with. Let's say I want a little bit of power curve. And let's say I want it to be more high pass filtered. That way I don't build up too much low end from the delays. And I want to be a little bit more aggressive. Noise box is here, so let's bring up the mix. And let's go over here. See this filter? I want that to dance at the same time. So the easy way to do that, let's see. Let's just do it this way. Let's go over here, plus to effects, noise box, post filter frequency. So right now it's doing bright to dark. If I want, I can reverse it. There. Now on top of this, I want to have another layer that's just going to be like, right? So let's get something going from like maybe Bazooka Sawtooth. I'm going to load instrument one layer, right? But he's going to start bright and come down. No filter cutoff. And I'm going really slow, lots of resonance. And I need to come down lower and a little bit faster. Let's get a little bit more resonant squeal. And let's make this a little bit more interesting harmonically. Let's go notes, 16ths, custom waveform, just unilateral. And it's getting a little loud in here, I can tell. In fact, there's quite a whip of, see the Fratelli? I'll deal with that after the chat, because it's going to take a little while to find out exactly where the resonant peak is and fix it. Uh-oh. There. And then for this, we need some reverb, and it can have some delay too. And let's put the beefy brass wet. I think that'd be cool to add in here. Maybe up an octave. And let's have something else. Let's say, I kind of want that filter to grow. Now that I've got more stuff going on, you notice how it's a little too dark to start? It's like I have this really cool shape in there. I want to hear it more. And then let's put a pump house on the whole thing, just to give it a little bit of shape. put the pump house at the beginning of this, and let's go to sidechain presets. We go over here to like sidechain 3. And then bring this down to like 50% maybe. And who's doing the, he is, let's do this. Let's double that by saying duplicate this layer and bring this one here up here and have it be an octave higher. So we have, and let's pan this left and right. So we get just really cool wide. That's cool. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there for now because I want to play some other patches. So Z, BPM bass. What should we call this? Kind of got a whipper kind of effect. Now, if you need help using Unify, a couple options. You can email us at unifysupport@pluginguru.com with a specific question. We have forums at forum.pluginguru.com right here that you can go to and ask, and that way you get replies from both Shane as well as myself, or sometimes Taylor shows up there, as well as people here in the community, to have it be something that then the community can learn from. There you go. Pulsification, I like that. Now, because I say BPM bass already, I won't say bass again, but pulsification, that works. Pulsification. And there's a BPM bass, we'll say BPM bass, BPM bass. And I'll clean up the tags created during the June 21st live stream. Takes a minute for the hard drives to wake up. That's cool, I like that. Nice name too. Thank you, Northwood. All right, rhythmic pulsing evolving. I'm going to help to unify real guitar. Yeah, if for a lot of the unified libraries that we have for plugins were done by users because they own those plugins. Some were done by us. But a decent share of them were done by our users. So if you find someone, Daniela, that wants to, but you know, that's a lot of work to do. So we won't do that ourselves here, but you're welcome to do that and send it to us if you want. That's what other people have done. Okay. For the wave sequencing to work, this will take a second to set up. Let's do this. To start, maybe it might be fun to take one of these that has the layers and use each of the layers as an independent, maybe not Rushmore, but more like maybe Swarmus. Let's see, layer 1. Layer 1 and 4 are not looped, so I'm not going to do that one. Orchestral Epic might be fun. I think Hero might be the most interesting because there's from small stuff. So let's start with the layer 1 loop. And I'm just going to do this. Let's as an interesting test. Let's get instrument only. Let's load layer 2, 3, and 4. So we now have this big thing, right? But I'm going to do this. I actually want to change this. I'm going to go hold down Option and click Init. So I go back just to the first layer. I want the envelope for each one of these to be kind of unique in that it slowly will fade in a little bit. And let's have it also filter fade in a little bit so we make it even more noticeable, but faster. And then back. Let's see, no velocity. So we have that interesting growth to it, right? And then it slowly fades down. Let's have the fade down be really slow. Right? I like that shape. So I'm gonna do this a little bit different way. I'll show you a cool trick. So let's load in again. We're on instrument layer 1 only. So we say 2, 3, 4. But I want the Guru sampler setup that I did. I want all of this on the other 3 layers. And it just so happens that this is a problem that I needed Shane to help me fix. And so we actually put in a fix to do this. So if you know, we have a shortcut for, if you hold down Control and Shift and click the bullet right here, that equals the same as going down here to Operations, Copy Plugin State. And then I'm going to open up each one of these layers and I hit the little lock icon. And what this does is this locks the sample so that it won't change. And then I can hold down Shift and I can click the bullet and it will now put that shape in here, but it still kept it on hero layer 2. So I can go to hero layer 3, hold down the lock first, now hold down Shift and click the little bullet. And once again, it's put that cool shaped envelope onto this. And then we go to layer 4 and we're going to say, hit the lock, close this, hold down Shift, click. So now I have made all of these with the same Guru sampler filter shape, an envelope shape, but the sample maps are different. And so now I'm going to set each one of these to its own MIDI channel. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we need to go up to the MIDI effects and we need to say, we have 4 layers. So we want to go down here to Polybox 4 layers. So now each time I play notes, let me see here. Oh, next step is I have to do this. I have to now connect each of these MIDI effects, or each of these layers, to the MIDI effect layer above. So setting each one to M1. Now, go to Polybox, and we need to say 4, and we need to be to chord auto reset. So now, it plays them all. Let's see, chord. Right. So each time I play notes, it changes, as you can see, right? But I'm gonna have a sequencer changing in front of this. So then I use chord auto reset. So each time it starts over, it starts at the top again. It works only when you're having sequencing happen. So I'm gonna go over here to Guru Sampler, MIDI box, and let's load here. Actually, let's do it this way. I gotta first go over here to libraries and choose standard library. Then go here to Polybox chord MIDI files. Let's say like 3 to start. Now let's see how I get this to trigger and play. Oh, you know why? So MIDI box is not in front of Polybox, right? So it's only playing MIDI channel 1. As soon as I move MIDI box, now it's playing between the 4 layers. Let's see here. Let's say we need to have MIDI restart. So now when I stop, it stops. See how it's now playing them, but I'm playing too fast because evolving means like 60 beats per minute or something like that. So now we need to find a MIDI box that's slow. So let's go over here, polychord for pads. Let's say, right? So it's evolving now. If I was to bypass Polybox, just so you can hear what it's doing, just so it's a little confusing. Let's, so that's what it's playing. Now, I think for the purposes of this, I don't want it to do octaves and stuff, because I want it to be evolving in just one tonality. So let me see something here. Do I have others of these? I might have to use... Let's do it in a different way. So instead of MIDI box, we're going to use Blue Arp, because we can set this to like quarter notes, and we can go up here to the step type, and I can say chords. So now... right? So it's playing a steady, and if I want, I can go over here to tie. Let's see if I go like that. Let's see. Tie. I thought I could get it to tie it together, but it's... There we go. So let's go like tie like that, and then rest. Let's see. So this is experimental land. So maybe this will be something I have to do off camera, because I don't want to bore everybody for an hour figuring this out, right? So instead of doing it this way, let's do it the traditional way. I'll come back to this. Let's do this. Let's go save BPM synth or pad, because it'll be a pad. Evolver work in progress, and we'll save that. Save. Okay, so I'll come back and work on that. That will be a patch in the final library using MIDI effects to do like polyphonic wave sequencing, and I can show that to you next week. Okay, that's my homework for the week. But I'm going to set everything back to MIDI channel all, and we'll get everything to be on MIDI channel. In fact, let's just do this. Let's start from scratch. And let's just say something like, let's do what we're going to do with Hero, layer 1. But I wanted to start fast. And let's put a nice slow filter on it, some sweeping happening. Okay. And then on top of this, we'll have like maybe layer 4. Let's pop this out so it's embedded. Have this first layer. See, I sold the wrong guy. Let's have it. So I have this harmonic content coming in. And let's put this LFO on something a little bit different shape-wise for fun. So it's got something happening there that will be changing over time. And then let's have this also be really dark. Let's do this. Let's for fun. Say eighth note, sample and hold. Let's get pump house on that first pad. That would be this type of shape. Have this even more slow on the envelopes. And let's have something like, I think it's layer 3 of Sormus is really cool. Put this in here and have it be more filtered and dark. Let's have something from the standard library as well. So standard library, maybe some sort of a cool synth element. And then I'll play with the envelopes to get a lot more evolving when we're off here. It's like Resfall. Sampler layers, so I'm going to go over here really quickly and say duplicate all links. So this will tie all of these together so I can bring up the delay, bring up reverb. And let's see, we need to have a little bit more Let's have some fun. We'll make it a rhythmic pad with evolving. And then I'm gonna actually try something fun. Let's say, for this, let's embed this into a Unify layer. Say embed really quickly, because we're almost out of time. CC Writer, but I'm gonna put kind of a weird shape into this one. So let's say E4, 5. There's one here, 6, 7. I don't know if you know this, but I believe it's a shift key. We'll have it snap to timing values, so we can put in kind of like a random LFO thing by holding down shift. I'm able to play this so that it will keep on the right timing values and stuff like that. And then I can change the curvature of these to make it more like it's blocks. Let's see what that gives us if it's doing this in like, let's say like an eighth note. And then I'm going to have this modulate the pulse intensity. So it should be kind of interesting. So let's go over here to the knobs. Let's say we want full range of, we're going to change it because we don't want to be full range, but of the LFO pitch cutoff depth. And we don't want it to go into the negatives. So I'm going to select it. And then on Unify, this works on a lot of synths, but if you click on a node, you can double click in the middle and type a value. So I'm going to have it start at 0 and go to max. So let's see what it does if I change this. So no pulsing to pulsing, right? So if it's doing something kind of fun and freaky, that could be kind of cool. So let's do this. Let's say listen to CC20. And now it and then slow it down because it's too fast. And at the same time, let's have it change other parameters like the filter cutoff just to see what that does. So let's say do the full range. Wait, I want to be on this parameter here. Full range, filter cutoff, resonance. And then say also filter cutoff. Let's slow this down. Cool, that's interesting. It needs some refining, but I like the direction. It's like someone just sitting there doing the knobs, right? All right, BPM pad. All right, and it's a Z. Let's dance Evolver. Okay, so we have a couple patches for my homework to clean up and finalize and refine. We have this. And it's definitely got some work to do because it's causing interesting little harmonic things to happen in there. And then the other one being the other BPM pad work in progress of Evolver itself. So we have a regular Evolve that I want to do more. This will be doing amazing things in a week, right? Oh, I need to turn back on Polybox, so it's yeah, we got a lot of work to do that one. But it'll be working. We'll have some fun stuff. So at least that's an idea in the start. So anyway, I don't want to get too far into the weeds, so we'll stop there. Yes, as someone was asking about Unify 2, we're planning to release it in early January, probably about the same time as the 5th anniversary of Unify. And we don't have anything specific we can talk about. We will make sure it is 100% compatible with all the libraries that have done before so that it will work and be fine. Yeah, Daniel, sorry, we don't have time to review stuff like that sometimes. So anyway, thank you for joining us. It's been fun. It's been an experience, right? So if you have any questions, you can pop them up really quickly. You guys have been asking the whole time, it looks like. So and this will be out on Thursday. So Shane, thank you for staying around. And he was just going to be here for a little while, but it's really kind that he stayed here and let's see here. Yeah, 5 years is amazing. Thank you all. Okay, shout out time then. Let's just do it. Hey, Keith. Thank you, man. That's really nice of you. Shout out from Golden, Colorado. Shout out. Let me see. I'm in Eagle, Idaho now. I gotta remember where I am. So shout out from Eagle, Idaho. In Washington, the Netherlands. Hello, Netherlands. Ottawa. Dave, thank you, my friend. Cool. In Finland, in California. Yes, Taylor is in Portland. Good to see you, Taylor. I hope you're feeling better. He had a little stomach thingy going on, so hope he's better. Yay, Tim's busy making patches. Shout out from France from Fred. I bet he's working on patches too. That's kind of what he likes to do. Lisbon, Santa Clara. Look at that. Dallas. Ooh, it's 99 degrees here in Idaho today. I bet it's hot in Texas. Feeling better today. Poor guy. Well, rest up. Take care of yourself for the rest of the day. And we'll have this monster of a library ready for everybody. Oh, I love this patch. Jellyfish Dreaming. I always wondered what jellyfish dream. I'll make some more plucks. Good Fred. And what's fun is this is heavily filtered spit razor. So if you bring up the filter and stuff, that's what's underneath it all, but we've got heavy filtering. Oh, wow. Yucky. Tim, sorry to hear that, man. All right. Well, thank you all. It's good to see you all. It's always fun to do these every week. We'll be back next week for another live stream. Yeah, Tim, feel better soon. Sorry to hear that. I hope I don't think is Tim. Oh, he's got COVID. Yeah, so we got a couple of the guys are getting over stuff. I don't think Taylor has COVID. I hope not. And again, if you have questions, we do these every week as free support for our customers because we appreciate all of you and want to be connected as much as we can with you. So if you have questions, Unify support at pluginguru.com. That will get you to Taylor or myself. Forums.pluginguru.com are our public forums that you can ask questions, and Shane, for the most part, loves to police those and make sure everything's going good and everybody's got their questions answered. But other people jump in and answer questions and share, so it's all good stuff. So thank you. We will see you next week for another fun playing with synthesizers. All right? So have a great week. Be creative. Don't be too hot out there. It's going to get warm. So we'll see you soon. See you later. Bye, guys.